Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview covering VCT Master Shanghai. For this occasion, I have here with me shhhack, the assistant coach of G2 esports, who are coming off of a 2-0 series victory over Team Heretics to progress to the playoff stage in said competition. So, shhhack, really appreciate you taking the time. And yeah, first off, covering this result, coming out on top, how are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling great. I think it was very important for us to go 2-0 in the Swiss stage because I now we have more time to prepare the next matches, and we really need to rest a bit because it was a pretty stressful uh, like roads to get here through Americas. So I think this is gonna help us a lot.
Oh, for sure. It's been a very long road to get to this point to be amongst the eighth best teams in the world. But yeah, talking about just preparation and just all of that stuff, given the fact that you guys had to have a quick turnover from facing T1 to Heretics, what was the preparation like? What was the one thing that you felt you contributed the most for the team to be prepared against Heretics?
I mean, we kind of knew which maps we are gonna play, so we try to focus on those maps, and we really like focus on these two maps. And after like we finished the job, like me and Josh, the head coach, I was pretty confident that we are gonna win today because sometimes you don't even know what they are gonna do, but we had like a very good game plan for this one. So about Lotus, I was not sure. That's why I think we kind of lost, and also we didn't play that well because we didn't play that well together, and the all in was not that great. But when we started Bind, we had like a good game plan. The players were killing really well. It was not only Valyn, like the other players were helping him to call. So when I saw that Bind, I was pretty sure that we are gonna go win the split because our comp is very good for attack and we were starting attack.
Yeah, you mentioned buying, and when we saw that you guys selected the pick, it was kind of a question mark given the fact that you guys were 2-4. Heading or before this point. I just want to know, what was the team's thought process? Were you guys wait, you guys? I can assume that you guys were very confident in going and having another shot at buying, right?
Yeah. I mean, Bind is a map that we did sometimes on Americas. And yeah, we thought that it was the best pick for us against Heretic, especially. So we just went for it, and it went good. So I think we did the right choice there.
Well, for sure, no doubt. Coming out with the victory on that, and yeah, and then going over to the third map split. I mean, it's a map that you guys have just been performing pretty well. Despite the two losses to 100 Thieves earlier on in the season. But yeah, walk me through split. What kind of then went so good for you guys, especially in the first half, with you guys going up top like maybe 8-0 and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I think we started pretty well. That was so important because when you're attacking pistols and attacking speed are pretty insane. And then we won like the clutch on the bonus round, and this gave us like a lot of motivation and confidence. And I remember that Trent was helping a lot with the calls. They will remember that all the tips that we were giving them before the match as coaches. And when I saw like the comms that we had in the middle rounds, I knew that we are gonna win a lot of rounds on attack. And even though we thought that the defense is gonna be hard to close the match, because yeah, but at the end we like I don't know, we win like 5 clutches in the entire match. So this helped a lot.
Oh, for sure. Looking over to the overall series, all three maps. In a general sense, what do you think was the biggest difference that just decided this result between you guys and Heretics?
I think we were a better team today, and also individually we were like shooting better than them because obviously we won a lot of clutches. Like I think in split we just won like two 1-on-3s and one 1-on-4, which is insane. And yeah, I think we had also a better preparation and more time because Minibu sadly couldn't compete in this league and this tournament. And they are playing with Patitek instead, which is a really good player, but at the end, they are not the main roster. So yeah, I think we had like a bit advantage there as well.
Yeah, for sure, and hopefully you guys can continue this momentum going forward. And I now want to just talk about you and just your inclusion into G2. If my memory serves correctly, throughout VCT Americas. I believe you've been working remote, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
did.
And now for this occasion, obviously you're with the team in Shanghai. So I just want to just ask about your transition from just working primarily remote, assisting the team through the domestic side, and now having to now be with them in person. For this tournament, what has that transition like, and what do you think has been, if any, biggest difficulties in that?
I mean, it's a lot better because you can see the players, you can talk with them when they are chilling, like give them like some advices or like ask them questions, like how they feel about like this strat or this strat or how can we adapt to anything. Because I like to work with the mentality of the players about what they think about one round, another round, or if they feel comfortable doing this or that. So it was a lot better because you have like instant feedback all the time. And also because I think it's very good to be together. And also I miss them because we were together on Berlin in December, I think,
Mhm.
in a boot camp at the G2 office. And yeah, now like it has been a long time. I'm very happy that we did it to Shanghai so I can see them again.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, like when it was announced that you joined, people were basically saying like, who, who is this guy? And given that you had like some time playing in or playing in KPI, just being that as a player, and then also looking at your career in Counter Strike, mostly residing in the Spanish scene. Um, well, first off, how did you even join G2 in the first place? When did that contact just start happening between you and G2 and just having to work alongside Josh RT?
So I sent a DM to Josh like long time ago, obviously, and he took like 2 months to answer me like, hey, we are gonna do tryouts. I have a lot of candidates, so would you up to try? And I said, of course. And yeah, it has been a very long tryouts. I think it was a stressful time for me, but it went great because at the end I joined them. So it was like a month of tryouts or 2 months. I don't remember well. So and yeah, I'm really happy that they picked me because they are a really nice group of guys. They are very humble and they just listen. And we are like it's a very nice team to work with, and I'm very happy for it.
You mentioned a little bit about just focusing on the mental side of the players and just having to be in that kind of right state to compete. Focusing on in-game stuff if you are able to, of course. If not, I understand. What do you feel is the one thing that you feel like you've been contributing the most for this team's performance throughout this season?
I think when it comes to the playoffs and matches, and when we are playing a lot on the stage, what I'm trying to do most is watch the enemies and do anti strats or do adjustments to our tactics. Because yes, I don't. We don't want to change too much. So what I'm trying is to recognize the weakness of the enemies and trying to like choose if we have one strat to counter that, and if we don't have, sometimes I add new strats, but we don't try to like we are not trying to add so many stuff because this is bad for the like if you have to play a lot of matches and we are changing a lot, it's gonna be bad. So yeah, we are like changing a bit, and yeah, I'm basically doing that when we are here on like playing a lot of officials and we don't have too much time. But when we have too much time, I'm doing like everything we just helping to the micromanage, helping to the possible like how we can improve the comms and like checking stats, which maps we could do. Like uh, overall, I'm doing everything basically, and also helping with the utility. Yeah, but in tournaments, it's analysis, anti-strats, and adjustments and improvements.
Do you find it harder just having to prepare for teams in a tournament like this, with little time to prepare and just having to switch to different opponents the farther you go than how it was in Americas where you have 1 week to prepare for each team or maybe two teams in that regard. So where do you kind of see the hardest part?
I mean, the hardest part is the time, obviously. And like, so, for example, today I slept only 5 hours, but I am still fine because I mean, if you work hard, it pays off. So I'm happy for it. And the good and the bad thing, if you have a lot of time, also means that the other teams has a lot of time. So sometimes I prefer to have only a little bit of time and work harder. So you will have a bit of advantage. And especially when we play one match too close to another, I think we are doing better than when we have a lot of time because the other teams also prepares a lot. So these games are kind of 50-50 because it feels a lot of things feels like a lot different. Sometimes not, but yeah, I honestly prefer when we have less time because I think we win more, but at the same time it's stressful. And if you play and play and play a lot during for a week or something, it goes hard. Like you get stressed and stuff. But yeah, that's competing.
And that is competing and that is winning, and that's what you guys have been doing so far, and that's what I'd like to see as someone from America. So, Shaq, I'm going to wrap up the interview right here. Really appreciate you taking the time doing this interview, and also congrats once again on the W. Best of luck goes to the team, but most importantly for you later on.
Thank you for having my. Bye bye.